Assalamualaikum. My name Amirah Syahirah. I will present chapter 1, background of study. This research is emphasizing on the issue of patient satisfaction in healthcare in UiTM Puncak Alam that will determine the level of patient satisfaction among respondents. The sequel tool asks for respondent perception of service quality with multiple questions under 5 dimensions. Patient satisfaction is defined as patient's opinion of how well the service can meet their need and expectation, and also can be considered as a valid indicator to measure the service quality. For the research objective, to determine the level of patient satisfaction among respondents, to identify the factor of healthcare service quality that influence on patient satisfaction among respondents, to investigate the most influential factor that contribute to patient satisfaction among respondents, and research question. What is the level of patient satisfaction among respondents? What are the factors of healthcare service quality that influence on patient satisfaction among respondents? What is the most influential factor that contribute to patient satisfaction among respondents? Significance of study, it divide to first, contribution to the organization and contribution to patient. Contribution to the organization provide the fundamental information level of patient satisfaction among the respondents through the sequel model that were developed by Parasuraman 1985. Organization can also identify the factor of healthcare service quality that influence on patient satisfaction among respondents. Contribution to the patient provide the information on patient satisfaction towards the student when they go to the healthcare center, and the result of the study could lead to further knowledge among students on patient satisfaction. Okay, for chapter 2, research framework, which have 5 independent variable, which is tangible, reliability, responsiveness, assurance, and empathy, and dependent variable is patient satisfaction. Next, research hypothesis have 5. First, there is a significant relationship between tangible and patient satisfaction. There is significant relationship between reliability and patient satisfaction. Third, there is a significant relationship between responsiveness and patient satisfaction. Fourth, there is significant between assurance and patient satisfaction. And lastly, there is a significant relationship between empathy and patient satisfaction.
Hi, my name is Murni Binti Mashuri, and now I will explain about the chapter 3, which is research methodology. And in this chapter, we will discuss about the methodology used to gain useful information to implement on this study. For the purpose of the study is an explanation statement of the reason why the study is being conducted and to identify the goal of the study. And we have used casual research, which to identify the relationship between variables. For the type of investigation that we have used is correlation relationship between the said variable. For the extent of research interference, we are using the moderate type, where there is no cause and effect to work or in daily life. For the study setting is an environment within which studies are run that has an important consequences for experimental design, type of data that can be collected, and also for the interpretation of the result. And we are conducted in a non-contrived setting. Besides that, for the unit of analysis, refer to the level of aggregation of the data collected during the subsequent data analysis stage. And for the unit of analysis that we have used in this study is individual, as we will only distribute the questionnaire among the students. For the time horizon used is cross-sectional. And furthermore, for the population, we are focusing on undergraduate students of semester 4 and also in semester 5 of Academy of Contemporary Islamic Studies student, and we only use for 128 students that are taken. Next is sample size, which we are described as a number of units that were chosen from which data were gathered or the population were observed. And our sample size initially is 150 students, but however, only 128 questionnaire is being used. For the survey instrument, we only distribute the questionnaire to Academy of Contemporary Islamic Study between semester 4 students and also in semester 5 students. And lastly, for the plan for data analysis, we are using the statistical package for social science software, which is SPSS, as a tool for analyzing data collected from student part 4 and also from the student part 5 of Academy Contemporary Islamic Studies. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Yashieda, Binti Hasan, and I will be explaining about the chapter 4, Data Analysis and Result. This chapter focuses to the result and finding of the data analysis on this study. The main purpose of this study is to discuss the relationship between the service quality dimension with the patient satisfaction in UiTM Puncak Alam. The result divided into 4 sections, which are the respondent background information, dimension of service quality, patient trust, and patient satisfaction. For the data cleaning, there is no missing value. As for the profile of the respondent, table 4.3.1 indicates about the gender respondent that have participated in this study, and from the result above shows that 48 of them are male, which is 30.5%, while 80 of them are female, which is 62.5%. Table 4.3.2 shows the part of respondents that have participated in answering the questionnaire, and the result illustrate that 70 of them are part 4, which is 47%, while 55 of them are part 5, which is 43%. While table 4.3.3 shows the cost of respondent that involved in this study, and the results show that 41 of them are Bachelor of Muamalat Hons, which is 32%, while 87 of them is Bachelor of Halal Industry Management Hons, which is 68%. Besides that, for the frequency of respondents receiving treatment stipulated, the result in table 4.3.4 that 1 to 2 times had the highest result were 60.9%. Besides that, 3 to 4 times had the second place where 20.3% of respondents answering the questionnaire. 5 to 6 times followed with 11.7%. It also found that respondents who are received treatment 7 to 8 times is 2.3%, and respondents who are received treatment 9 to 10 times is 2.3%, followed by respondents who received treatment more than 10 times had the lowest result where only 2.3% answering the questionnaire. As for table 4.3.5, show the respondents last time who received treatment that answering the questionnaire. The result indicates that last semester had the highest respondent were 43.0%. Besides that, last year had the second place with 32.0%, followed by last month had the result which is 16.4%. It is also found that last week had the lowest result where only 8.6% of the respondents answering the questionnaire. Table 4.3.6 shows the type of treatment that respondents received in this study. The result indicates that the highest treatment received by respondent is normal treatment, which is 71.9%. The second highest is others that consists of 11.7%, and the third highest is emergency treatment, which is 10.9%. Meanwhile, appointment and medical checkup consists of 3.1% and 2.3%. For table 4.47, the table summarizes about the normality result that is based on screwiness, and courtesies. The results show that all variables had normal result, where the range to get the normal value must be between negative 1.82 to 1.82. Based on the table for 4.51, it is summarized that the reliability result represented by Cronbach alpha value for tangible is 0.93, which can be classified as excellent with 7 number of items involved. As for reliability, the reliability result is excellent where the number of items involved is 7 and the Cronbach alpha value is 0.94. Next, the reliability result of the responsiveness, assurance, empathy, and patient satisfaction are also excellent with the Cronbach alpha value of 0.95, while the number of items involved are 8, 5, 6, and 6, all in sequence. Based on the result obtained in Chapter 4, the mean score for tangible is 9.6. It means that most of respondents felt uncertain or neutral on factor of tangible that provide by unit kesihatan, such as the design makes it easier for the patient to access service, the internal organization help achieve a rapid response to patient requests. Besides, the facility lounge, corridors, and waiting area are adequate and appropriate to the service. Furthermore, unit kesihatan is equipped with the latest device, technologies, and medical equipment. Also, unit kesihatan staff are well groomed and have a good appearance. Moreover, unit kesihatan location is convenient and easily accessible. On top of that, unit kesihatan rooms are clean, comfortable, and attractive. Based on the result obtained in Chapter 4, the mean score for reliability is 6.9. It indicates that most of respondents felt uncertain or neutral on factor of reliability that provide by unit kesihatan, such as the service are provided at the time it promises, the availability of sufficient staff, unit kesihatan, and the ability of employees to inspire trust and confidence in patients. Besides, the employees' willingness to listen carefully and help patients, reliability in handling the patient problem, speediness and ease of admission procedure are also the factors of reliability. On top of that, whether the staff respond immediately when called also play a big part. As for the responsiveness, the mean score is 3.6. It shows that most of respondents felt uncertain or neutral on factor of responsiveness that provided by unit kesihatan, such as a prompt service without an appointment, the adequate information about health condition, and whether the employees are sympathetic and reassuring. In addition, prescription of affordable medicine, prompt service, responsiveness of the staff to need also reflected the responsiveness of service provided by unit kesihatan. Also, whether unit kesihatan staff always willing to help, and the admission staff was friendly and courteous reflect whether responsiveness is good or not. For the assurance, the mean score is 3.6. It illustrates that most of the respondents felt uncertain or neutral on factor of assurance that has provided by unit kesihatan, such as maintenance of patient confidentiality. Beside that, assurance occurs when patient can feel confidence and trust in the treatment. Other than that, unit kesihatan also should perform their services right for the first time in order to determine the assurance. The behavior of the staff also can help in building the confidence in patient. Thus, it will make the patient feel safe to interact with employees. Now, for the empathy, the mean score is 3.6. It can be concluded that most of the respondents feel uncertain or neutral on factor of empathy that has provided by unit kesihatan, such as staff are always willing to help the patient. They also give personal attention to every of the patient. Other than that, unit kesihatan provide the empathy of where their staff are consistently courteous and they are never too busy to respond to the requests that have been made by the patient. Moreover, the staff has the best interest at heart of their patient and understand their specific needs. Now for the mean score for patient satisfaction, which is 3.6. It can be concluded that most of the respondents felt uncertain or neutral on the factor of empathy that has provided by unit kesihatan, such as the patient satisfaction with the unit kesihatan location, with the treatment at the unit kesihatan. On top of that, patient also can be satisfied with the medical care of the unit kesihatan, with the nursing care of the unit kesihatan, and also the unit kesihatan management. Beside the patient, would recommend the unit kesihatan to others. Table 4.7.1 show the relationship between tangible and patient satisfaction reported by respondent. The Pearson correlation coefficient is used to determine the relationship between both variables. The result reveals that there is a positive significant relationship between tangible and patient satisfaction. The strength of the relationship between both variables is high correlation relationship. Now for the table 4.72, it shows the relationship between the reliability and patient satisfaction reported by respondent. The Pearson correlation coefficient is used to determine the relationship between the said variables. This has concluded that there is a positive significant relationship between reliability and patient satisfaction. The strength of the relationship between both variables is high correlation relationship. As for table 4.7.3, show the relationship between responsive and patient satisfaction illustrated by respondent. The Pearson correlation coefficient is used to determine the relationship between the said variable. This has concluded that there is a positive significant relationship between responsiveness and patient satisfaction. The strength of the relationship between both variables is high correlation relationship. Table 4.7.4 show that relationship between assurance and patient satisfaction described by the respondent. The Pearson correlation coefficient is used to determine the relationship between two variables, namely assurance and patient satisfaction. This has concluded that there is a positive significant relationship between assurance and patient satisfaction. Therefore, the strength of the relationship between both variables are high correlation relationship. For table 4.7.5, show the relationship between empathy and patient satisfaction reported by the respondent. The Pearson correlation coefficient is used to look at the relationship between the said variables. This has concluded that there is a positive significant relationship between empathy and patient satisfaction. To explain the study correlation analysis, the strength of the relationship between both variables have high correlation relationship. Now for the regression analysis. The table shows the result of regression analysis of 5 independent variables regressed against the dependent variables of patient satisfaction. According to the table shown, R2 indicates the percentage variance in the dependent variables that is explained by the variation in the independent variables. As a result, the R2 value of 0.783 implies that all the independent variables explain that 78.3% of the variance is dependent variables, while the remaining 21.7% of the variance in the dependent variable is not explained by the independent variables in the study. Therefore, this indicates that there are other independent variables which are not included in the study, and it could further strengthen the regression equation. Besides that, for the statistical model significance, the result above illustrate all the independent variables are significantly explain the dependent variable. It also shows that the model is acceptable because the f-test is significant based on the value of significant 0.000 and the f-value is more than 1 with 88.079.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Zulaikha bin Tumari and I will be presenting about the overall major finding of the research. I will highlight about the research and finding that has been presented in chapter 4. For the analysis on IV and DV, based on the result obtained in chapter 4, the mean score for tangible is 3.61, and which the standard deviation is 0.64. It means that most of the respondent is uncertain on the tangible that is provided by unit kesihatan to them. For an example, they felt uncertain that unit kesihatan department is designed to make it easier for the patient to access the service. Next, they are also uncertain about the internet organization or helps to achieve a rapid response to patient requests. Besides that, the unit kesihatan facilities, lounges, corridors and waiting area are also adequate and appropriate to the service, are also uncertain to the patient. Next, the location is convenient and easily accessible, and the rooms provided are also clean, comfortable and attractive. Also is uncertain to the patient, while the result for the mean score obtained in chapter 4 for reliability is 3.60 with the standard deviation of 0.59. The result can be concluded that most of the respondents also felt uncertain on the reliability that provided by unit kesihatan to them. For example, they felt uncertain that unit kesihatan provide service at the time it promises, and availability on sufficient staff, the ability of employees to inspire trust and confidence in patient, employees' willingness to listen carefully and help the patients. Besides, the reliability in handling the patient problems, speed and ease of admission, like the procedures, and lastly, the staff response not really immediately when they are called. Furthermore, for the result, mean score for responsiveness is 3.62 with the standard deviation of 0.60. The result shows that most of the respondents felt uncertain about the responsiveness that been given by unit kesihatan. Moreover, the mean score for assurance as obtained in chapter 4 is 3.61 with a standard deviation of 0.65. Through this result, we can say that most of the respondent is also felt uncertain on the assurance that used by unit kesihatan for them. Next, for the other variables such as empathy, the result mean score is 3.60 with the standard deviation 0.66, which means that most of the respondents also felt uncertain on empathy that provided by unit kesihatan to them. For example, they felt uncertain that unit kesihatan staff are always willing to help, staff give personal attention, and staff are consistently conscious. Lastly, the mean score for patient satisfaction as obtained in the previous chapter 4 shows that it has standard deviation 0.67 with the score of 3.64. This result illustrates that most of the respondents felt uncertain on patient satisfaction that provided by unit kesihatan to them. For example, they felt uncertain that unit kesihatan is satisfied with the location, treatment, medical care and nursing care, also with their management. For the relationship between tangible and patient satisfaction, based on the finding in Chapter 4, the result indicates that there is a positive significance relationship between tangible and patient satisfaction among the respondents with 0.73, and the strength of the relationship between both variables is a high correlation relationship, and it can be concluded that if service quality factors of tangibles such as facilities, equipment, accommodation, and the appearance is better served towards the patients, then the level of patient satisfaction will be increased. The level of patient satisfaction is depending on the tangible provided by unit kesihatan. Next, for the relationship between reliability and patient satisfaction, shows that the result of a positive significant relationship between reliability and patient satisfaction with a value of 0.80. The strength of the relationship between both variables is high correlation relationship with the mentioned R value. It is concluded that the service quality factors of reliability which is patient can dependably and accurately towards the unit kesihatan are better served towards patient, then the level of patient satisfaction are increased. So it's proved that the level of patient satisfaction is depending on reliability provided by unit kesihatan also. For other than that, according to the finding in Chapter 4, the result between responsiveness and patient satisfaction is given a positive significant relationship, and the strength of the relationship between both variables are highly correlation relationship with R equal to 0.79. It shows that the service quality factors of responsiveness, which is willingness, are better served to the patient, and level patient satisfaction are increased. It shows that the level of patient satisfaction is depending on the responsiveness provided by unit kesihatan. Also, based on the result in Chapter 4, it shows that a positive significant relationship between assurance and patient satisfaction. Therefore, the strength of the relationship between both variables are highly correlation relationship with 0.08. It shows that the service quality factors of assurance such as knowledge, courtesy, and ability are better served towards the patient, and the level of satisfaction are increased. The level of patient satisfaction is depending on assurance provided by unit kesihatan. Next, the relationship between empathy and patient satisfaction. Based on the result in Chapter 4, it shows that the positive significant relationship between empathy and the patient satisfaction with R equal to 0.79, which is the strength of relationship between both variables, have high correlation relationship, and it shows that the service quality factors of empathy, which is caring and individual attention, if they are better served towards the patient, so the level of patient satisfaction are increased. The level of patient satisfaction is dependent on the empathy provided by the unit kesihatan. And lastly, for the conclusion, in this research, there are 5 service quality factors that have been identified will lead to the patient satisfaction at unit kesihatan, which are tangible, responsiveness, assurance, reliability, and empathy. This research were being done due to the researcher observation from the extracted data and the issue that have researcher heard to be fulfilled patient satisfaction and requirement in certain situations that faced by the organization. The reliability analysis obtained this research shows that all variable is reached at least 0.7 by comma alpha, and it will conclude that all questionnaires are reliable for further investigation. For the summary of this research finding, based on the table 5.5, the result of Pearson correlation that obtained from Chapter 4 is significant for all variables, and besides that, the regression shows only tangible, assurance and empathy is significant, but the other two variables are not significant. With that, thank you.